So, Tyler from Plugged On. I'm here with a concert review. This time I'm going to be talking about the Black Dahlia murder, Suffocation, Decrepit birth, Necrot, and Wormwitch. Saw this at the Chameleon Club in Lancaster, PA, October 14th. So this is a pretty stacked tour if you're a fan of death metal. Also, Exhumed is playing a few dates, you know, at some part of this tour. So if you get to see them too, damn, you're in for a treat. It's like a little mini Summer Slaughter or something. Actually, it might be better than Summer Slaughter. At least this year. I thought this was a fantastic show, and to have this at the Chameleon Club, which, you know, I don't really... The Chameleon Club is what it is to me as a venue. I'm not going to go on about that. But it's very, very local to me. Usually tours like this don't come through Lancaster, but it seems like every album cycle, or every other album cycle, Black Dahlia brings some sort of tour like this to smaller markets, which is awesome. They did it with Ritual, and they did it with Everblack, and I got to catch both of those tours at this venue, and now they're back here with Nightbringers, so that's pretty fucking cool to me. And I'm glad, because I felt like the crowd, there was a nice crowd there, so people did show up, and that's good, you know? When tours like this come through your town, man, you gotta support them if you want them to ever come back, because if not, they're gonna be like, yeah, that was a shitty show, we didn't sell merch, we didn't whatever. I don't know how much merch was sold, but anyways, I looked around, nice crowd there, so that's pretty cool. So, getting into the tour, bands, there was an opening band. I did not catch their name at all, so I apologize. I got there towards the end of their set when they were playing Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit, which was fine, but not sure if that's the right crowd to do that. But hey, whatever. Moving on to the tour, though, Wormwitch was the first band. Wormwitch, I never heard of them before, so Wormwitch and Necrot I've never listened to before. Heard of them, never listened to them, so this was my first exposure to them. I enjoyed Wormwitch. I thought they were neat, and I actually went and listened to their debut album, Strike Mortal Soil, yesterday, and I found it to be an entertaining album. Live, I thought they were good, and I think the thing that I like about this band the most is just their variety. I mean, they can go from like a straight-up heavy metal riff to a thrash riff to a death metal riff to a black metal riff, and they put them all together in a pretty cool way. Also, their drummer was just fucking sick. He was so on point. He made everything from a blast beat to just a very fast, thrashy beat. Everything just looked so effortless from him. So props to him. I mean, throughout the whole night, just excellent drumming from all the bands. But, man, I was just very impressed by him. I was like, he just makes this look so easy. Like, I could sit down behind his kit and do a blast beat. It's magic, you know? It's cool. And, you know, I thought they had a good mix, good, you know, flow to their set. Vocals sounded cool. You know, I definitely think this is a band that's going to stay on my radar of like, hey, Wormwitch has a new album coming out. I'll check it out. I wasn't blown away, but they impressed me enough to want to continue to check this band out in the future. So that's pretty cool. Check out Wormwitch. I mean, they have a, like I said, they have a variety of different styles and influences, and you can tell that they throw them all together in a pretty neat package at times. Then you move on to Necrot. Necrot's more of just a straight-up, traditional, old-school death metal band with just massive, fat riffs, very fast, very in-your-face, but then at times they have those just slow, crunchy, obituary-like riffs or something like that. I thought they were really cool, and you know, I once again went and listened to their album, and I thoroughly enjoy their album. Blood Offerings is the title of it. Songs like The Blade hits hard, man. So hard. Man, especially, you know, you listen to it live, you're like, man, or you listen to it on record, and that's a pretty heavy song. You know, there's a lot of punch to the main riff of The Blade. But then live, with the drums and the guitar tone just pops so much more live, and you just feel that mean energy that's coming out of this band, and it hits so much harder. And so the Blade, it's such a like memorable song live, because the first time I heard that, I'm just like making his face like, oh, it's so just badass. I love it. But then other songs that they played, Rather Be Dead, Shadows and Light, Empty Hands, very cool. I like Empty Hands a lot. I like the opening of that. But then Rather Be Dead's very fucking in-your-face song. And they were cool. They were very, very laid back for, you know, for a death metal band. They're just like, you know, hey, we're glad to be here, bang your head, let's go, you know, play some fucking riffs. And it's cool. I thought they were entertaining live. I would love to see this band get on more tours, you know, tours of, bigger tours. Like, I would love to see this band on Summer Slaughter or open for Cannibal Corpse or somebody like that sometime. And hey, props to the Black Dahlia Murder for taking bands like this out. You know, there's a, you know, Trevor does a lot of stuff for Metal Injection, for like underground death metal and all that stuff, and it's cool that the Black Dahlia Murder actually ended up taking out some of these bands on tour and putting together a killer show. That's cool, you know. So, yeah, Necrot, they were great. Go check them out. They're old school death metal, very in your face stuff. So, next up was Decrepit Birth. I haven't seen Decrepit Birth since, damn, the last time they were on Summer Slaughter, I guess, 2013, 2012, I don't know. It's been a really long time since I've seen Decrepit Birth, and, you know, obviously it's been a very long time since they put out a new album, and they did that this year with Axis Mundi, which I think is a great record, and I thoroughly enjoyed Decrepit Birth's set. I feel like they got a lot of people going. I feel like from Decrepit Birth all the way up through the Black Dahlia Murder, these bands commanded the crowd's attention a little bit more. And I don't know if that's just because these last three bands are obviously the most popular bands, but you could just tell the energy in the room went up a little bit more. Even though Necrot and Wormwitch were cool, the energy in the room did go up with Decrepit Birth, and I thought they got a lot of people going. I thought, you know, their set was cool. I liked their new stuff off their new album that they played. I think it went over well. And, you know, I just get so impressed by a lot of bands like this, but especially with Decrepit Birth, I was just kind of more just blown away by their musicianship. You know, you listen to the album and you're like, man, that riff's just super technical, it's crazy, that drumming is like insane, but then you see it live and it's like, I don't even know how the hell they're doing it, but they're doing it, and that's awesome. And especially the bassist just kills it and just brings so much energy to this band, and just incredible talent from that guy. Just, I was blown away by that. Just like I was blown away by the drummer of Wormwitch, I was blown away by the bassist of Decrepit Birth this time around. I don't know, just something, I just could not take my eyes off of him the whole time. But guitar playing, vocals, everything was cool. You know, their front man is an interesting guy live, for sure. Definitely will get you smiling. So I thought Decrepit Birth was cool. Definitely go check them out. Check out their new album too. It was cool. Next up, we have the almighty Suffocation. I just want to pull up this here. So Suffocation, you know, they do tour, but they don't tour with Frank Mullen, who is their original singer, the singer that you hear on all the albums. And, you know, I think vocally, the guy that got, and I'm totally blanking on his fucking name, I apologize, but fantastic. And at times I'm like, man, he's just nailing it. Just nailing Frank Mullen's sound. Nobody in death metal to me sounds like him. And I think the guy they got was great. And once again, I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on his name. But they played a lot of old school stuff. And, you know, I feel a lot of times that's what people want to hear from Suffocation. But I'll be honest with you, I enjoy their new album of Dark Light. There was a lot of songs that I wanted to hear off of there. I didn't think that they would play more than 2, to be honest with you, but they really only played 1 song off of it, and that was Return to the Abyss, which was awesome, but I really wanted to hear Clarity through Deprivation. Just because that, you know, chorusy breakdown part, whatever you want to call it, is so fucking heavy on the album that I wanted to hear that so badly live, and I just wanted to see the crowd just explode, and you know, but hey, it's whatever. Return to the Abyss did go over well, but old shit, they played Effigy of the Forgotten, Thrones of Blood, Funeral Inception, Pierced from Within, of course, that always goes over really well, Liege of Inveracity, Catatonia, which was awesome to hear, All Human Waste, and Infecting the Crypts. Just a fantastic set. I mean, this is probably one of the best death metal bands to see live, just because they hit so hard, they're so much fun to see, but, you know, I just feel a lot of these songs just go over so well live, and it's cool, because Suffocation, they have such a brutal side to them, but then they also have a very technical side to them. I feel like they do a really good job of putting them both together, and live just goes over really well. You know, when they have a thrashy part, you just feel like you want to get into it, but when you see the whole band just going insane at this just super heavy, more slam-like part, and, you know, it makes you really want to get into it. Their music just really speaks for itself live, and it goes over well. I enjoy Suffocation. I enjoy them every time I get to see them. Last but not least was the Black Dahlia Murder. So I saw the Black Dahlia Murder on Summer Slaughter this year, where they played Nocturnal in its entirety, and they also played Nightbringers, the title track to their new album, for the first time on the first day of the tour, so that was pretty cool to see. But, so I was excited to see them now that their new album's out. I wanted to hear some new songs. I didn't hear anything off of Abysmal because I did not catch them when they were touring behind that album. So, in terms of like a variety set list from the Black Dahlia Murder, I haven't heard one in a few years, to be honest with you. So I was very excited to see that, and holy mother fucking balls did they play. They played a long time, and they played 20 songs, which is crazy. Now, I know the Black Dahlia Murder doesn't have very long songs. They also don't have very short songs either. You know, their songs are just a typical 3, 4, 5 minute length. But man, did they just nailed it in terms of set list, in my opinion. They opened up with Widowmaker from the opening track from the new album Nightbringers, which I thought went over super well live. I like that song a lot. Then it's just like they go into just the song they know that's just really going to get people going right early in the show, and that's Statutory Ape. I love that song. That song, I honestly think that is one of the best Black Dahlia songs. Just the riffs in that song are completely perfect. The solo is amazing. The vocal hooks are incredible. Then you go into Contagion, I Worship Only What You Bleed, in Nightbringers. Nightbringers, you know, it was awesome when they played it on Summer Slaughter, when they didn't have that track out yet or anything. And I'm like, man, this is really good. But now that people know it, that song, I feel like that's a song that's really never going to leave the Black Dahlia Murder set. It just fits in so well. It gets people going. And it's a great song. Then they played Maesma, which I was shocked to hear, to be honest with you. That was a pretty cool song to hear. In Hell Is Where She Waits For Me. I love that. Abysmal, Shrine to Madness. Then they played Matriarch off the new album. Abysmal, Shrine to Madness, In Hell Is Where She Waits For Me. What a trio of songs that just slay live. All three of those songs are fucking awesome. Then you do Malenchantments of the Necrosphere. That's awesome. Vlad, Son of the Dragon. Everything Went Black. King of the Night World, which is the last new song that they played. I thought that song went over really well live as well. I was really hoping to hear either As Good as Dead or Catacomb Hectatomb off their new album. I think those two songs are two of the stronger tracks off their new album. But hey, I'm good with the 4 songs that they played. I think they were all pretty damn good. What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse. On Stirring Seas of Salted Blood, which I love hearing that song. That song is a very, very heavy song off of Ritual. And it always goes over well live, in my opinion. Then Unhallowed, Funeral Thirst, Deathmask Divine, and finally I Will Return. What a set, man. I mean, they touched every single album. They played like the marquee track off of it, and then maybe another sort of deeper cut or something like that, except Deflorate, which the only track they played was I Will Return. But, you know, man, they had a lot going there, and I'll be honest with you, I thought they were great. Black Dahlia Murder is always an incredible live. They have a lot of energy. They always sound good. Trevor sounds good. The band plays well. You could just tell by the end of the set that the crowd was just tired. You know, it's just non-stop just fucking moshing and headbanging for 20 songs, and, you know, especially with the Black Dahlia Murder's energy. It's just, you know, props on them, to be honest with you, of doing this every night for fucking 2 hours. You know, it's pretty, I'm sure that's a very tiring thing to do, especially with their style of music. And you could just tell the crowd was getting a little tired. And, you know, I was too at that point, but I was like, man, they're firing on all cylinders. And you know, I was just excited to hear what's next, because they were playing such a variety of songs from all their albums. So it was cool. Definitely go check out this tour. I think it's been going here for a little while, but there's still some dates left. So yeah, let me know if you go to this tour. Let me know. Thanks for watching. See you later.